Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm gonna kind of shift gears here and kind of change from like the traditional ASMR like content and kind of switching to like something that I think works better for like my format. I mean, I'm just trying it. We'll see how this video even does. I can still smell the cologne on my mic from the last video. That's pretty cool. But yeah, so today's video is teaching you how to put on muscle and lose fat. I've been in the gym for like 2 years, almost three, or like 2.5 or something. And I'm not like super big by any means, but I would say I'm like getting lean and I get compliments and stuff. But yeah, I'm not like saying I'm like super qualified or anything, but being in the gym for 2 years, you kind of learn the stuff. And I watched so many videos on like all this content, so by now I know like a good amount of things, I would think. So we'll just dive right into it. So I'll start with the basics, which is energy balance, which essentially is just calories in versus calories out. This is how you lose fat. If you don't do this, you're not going to lose fat. Like, this is just like a simple is it thermodynamics or something? Yeah, I don't know. So the basic idea for losing fat is you have to eat less than you expend. So if I burn 2,600 calories in a day, I'd have to eat less than that to lose any amount of fat. So whenever you hear people say that you can't outtrain a bad diet, that's true. Like, you can do all the running in the world or whatever cardio. But if you just eat it all back, there's no point. You're not gonna be losing anything. Sorry, my nose is a little like stuck. But so yeah, what you need to be in is called a calorie deficit, and that just means that you're eating less calories than you're burning. So the best way to do this is to track your food, which is what I do. I track calories. Eating the same food every day helps because you know how many calories you're eating. You don't have to keep like adding up numbers. Obviously, that's not feasible for most people, so you want to change up the foods, but you should kind of be adding up the calories you're eating just so you get an idea of how much you're actually eating. Because people just say, oh, I'm eating this much, but they're not actually tracking, so they have no idea, and usually they're wrong. So you had to lose fat, you gotta be in a calorie deficit. If you're building muscle, you can still be in a deficit. It might be a little harder, but you should either be in a deficit, maintenance, or a slight surplus. You should never be eating more than like 200, 300 calories over your maintenance, maybe 500. But you shouldn't be eating more than that because then you're just gonna put on unnecessary fat that you don't need. So yeah, and for reference, a pound of fat is about 3,500 calories. So kind of like gives you a tangible number. So yeah, that's the basics, just calories and diet. Now we're gonna move on to protein and nutrition. So, and I have all this stuff written down, so I'm kind of like reading off of what I wrote. So for protein, you want around 0.7 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Honestly, you can do like 0.8 because for protein, you're supposed to eat a gram of protein per pound of lean body mass. So that's less than your actual weight on the scale. So honestly, I think 0.8, 0.7, 0.8 is enough protein per pound of body weight. So protein preserves your muscles and it supports growth. So to grow muscles, you need protein. Protein is the thing that actually makes your muscles grow. And obviously you need carbs for energy, and you need fats for hormonal stuff. But yeah, protein is like the gym thing. So you should be getting enough protein. Ideally you're also eating whole foods. Do not replace your meals with protein powder like whey protein. It's more of a convenience thing. If you're on the go and you just need that extra boost of protein, sure, you can take the supplement, but don't replace full meals with a supplement, because then you're gonna be losing out on tons of micronutrients and things like that. So make sure you're eating whole foods like chicken, fish, tofu, eggs, all that stuff. They're all full of protein. And then also hydration and fiber because they support recovery and like how full you feel. So hydration, easy one. Always be drinking enough water at all times of the day. And for fiber, I know this is growing now, but it's kind of underrated still. Make sure you're getting enough fiber. The average adult needs like 30 something, I think. So, I don't know the best sources, but like fruits and vegetables are a great starting point to hit most of your numbers. Yeah, fiber helps you feel full. It clears out your colon and your gut. Yeah, you need fiber. Otherwise, there's probably things building up in your body that you don't want there. So, yeah. And now moving on to training. I'm gonna keep this super simple. Progressive overload. So when you go in the gym and you're hitting the weights, every few weeks, I want to say the weight should be increasing, or you should be doing more reps. If you're not doing either of those, something is wrong with either your diet or your training. Sorry. But yeah, weights, reps, and sets are all need to be going up every few weeks because that is your only signature of growth. You should stick with some compound lifts because they give you the most bang for your buck. So things like squats, deadlifts, benches, rows, and overhead pressing. Because you're working multiple muscles at once. So you can train less and just keep hitting those. Deadlift, I don't know about deadlift, but the rest you should be doing. Deadlift is also really high risk, so I don't know if I recommend that. But yeah. Make sure you're training every muscle group 2 times a week, 2 to 3 times. You should always hit it more than 1 time per week. Always 2 to 3 times. For rep ranges, honestly, I think 5 to 10. That's what I do. A little less, and I don't know. You don't need more reps. Like 5 to 10 is enough. It's plenty. You can do 1 to 5, I guess. I just like doing a little bit more. But yeah. You don't need to be doing like 20 reps or anything. It's useless. Because you're going to build the same amount of muscle anyway. In my experience, I switched over and I honestly am doing better in the gym after I started doing less reps. So, yeah. And I take way less time. If you guys are wondering, I do chest, bicep, chest, bicep, back, tricep, shoulder, legs, and I've never been faster in the gym because they're muscles that don't correlate, so I finish a lot faster because I don't feel tired. And then the last thing is that rest and recovery is the most important part of building muscle and losing fat. You need to be getting enough sleep, and the quality of sleep needs to be good. So I recommend taking magnesium glycinate, reducing blue light 2 hours before bed. Don't eat 2 to 3 hours before bed. Don't drink water 1 hour before bed. These things made my sleep so much better, and I wake up fine every day. And then obviously make sure you're getting like 7 to 8 hours of sleep, 9 if you need it. But yeah, again, quality matters more than quantity. You can sleep for 10 hours and it still sucks. So make sure that you're getting like actually good sleep. So it's based on cardio. Now, cardio burns extra calories for fat loss, and some forms of cardio can help you build muscle, like rowing, cycling, even running, I guess. But too much cardio can start breaking down your muscle as energy, so don't do a ton of cardio. Or like don't do a ton of high intensity cardio at least. So for example, I run. I used to cycle. Cycling was fun. I like cycling. And now I run. I don't run more than 5 miles at a time. And I'll never run a marathon or a half marathon. Because I don't see the point. It just puts stress on your knees. Yeah. So you can do cardio. You should be doing cardio because it's good for heart health. But you should not be using it as like your primary tool to like burn extra calories, because eventually it's going to cut into your muscle building. So just be careful. do some research. Generally, for running, at least, I think like 10 to 15 miles per week is fine. Like, nothing will happen to your muscles, so I follow that rule. Sleep, we already talked about. Oh, rest days. Don't honor. Okay, you need rest days. You cannot just train all the time, every day of the week. You need rest days. So for me, what I do is 5 days training and then 2 days off. So the weekend, I don't go to the gym on the weekend. This originated because in college, I have to take the bus to get to the gym and it's too much effort, so I just don't go on the weekends. I'm not going to campus to go to the gym and then come back. That's like a whole like 30-minute, 40-minute ordeal, so I'm not going to deal with that. Sorry, but yeah. You need the rest days, you need sleep. Like, those are just as important as actually going to the gym and eating properly, so don't sleep on that. Like, don't think you can get away with bad sleep, because you can't. And last but not least is obviously consistency. Results can take a really long time to actually show. Visible changes are going to take a while. You're not going to just suddenly blow up in like a few weeks. It's going to take a long time. So make sure you stay consistent. Consistent habits will always be like those short like bursts of motivation. It's easy to kind of get motivated and then go for a week and then quit. But once you stay consistent and actually go for a few months, it becomes routine. It gets really easy to keep going, and then you're going to start building muscle for sure. So, yeah, stay consistent. Whatever it takes, you got to stay consistent, because you are going to be so happy with the results when you stay consistent. And last but not least, track progress. So, photos, measurements, don't just use the scale. I use photos. I don't really measure anything. Yeah, photos are honestly the best for me, because it kind of helps me see how I look, and I always take it in the same place, so the lighting isn't like a factor. But it keeps your like ideas accurate, your motivation, so that you're not like, oh, I should be huge in a month, because you're not going to be. So, and you can kind of see how much progress you're making per month, so you can adjust things. And yeah, track your calories, your lifts, how you look. Those all matter. If your lifts aren't going up, something's wrong. If your diet is not locked in, you gotta dial that in. If you're eating too many calories, you gotta cut something out or swap something out. And if you aren't looking any different, then something's wrong with between either your diet, your sleep, or your actual training. Most likely not the training part, though. But yeah. Also, when you're training, I forgot to say this, when you're training, intensity really matters. So make sure that you're keeping up your intensity when you train. You should be going close to failure, because if you're just training casually and you're not really trying, you're not really going to build muscle. Intensity is the primary driver for muscle growth, so make sure that you're really going hard when you're in the gym. So yeah, I think we covered everything. The basics: calories, protein, nutrition, training principles, cardio, sleep, consistency. Yeah, I think we covered everything. Leave comments if you guys have questions. I honestly love this stuff. I've been passionate about it for a while. I want to make like a lifting channel separate from this later on, so we'll see. Or like not lifting, like a educational channel. So we'll see. But yeah, that's it for today's video. I hope you guys learned something and like take something away from this. If you have questions, feel free to ask me. I suggest that you do some research. Gym memberships aren't that expensive for some of them. Like Planet Fitness, I think, is kind of cheap. So yeah, honestly, if there's anything in life that you should be doing, I think there's a few things in life that everyone should be doing, and one of them is going to the gym, because you will gain muscle and lose fat, and you will be so proud of yourself, and shoot, I'll be proud of you too. So yeah, leave any questions in the comments. Thanks for watching. I love you guys. Bye.